complain you pay too much.
Oh, today is tax day, April 15th, the day that everybody dreads in America. Good morning. I'm Rich Herrera. This is Richmond's Morning News. Wake up with us or play catch up all day long. All right, let's talk about taxes. I just told you my story a little bit earlier. And if you want to, by the way, if you want to comment, you can. On the James River Air text line, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. I messed up. I got the notice from my tax preparer. Comes to me, not my wife. I said, hey, don't forget to do our taxes. And then I just left it to her and didn't follow up. And yesterday I was running around like a maniac trying to get all the tax papers ready. I should have done it a long time ago. My fault. My fault. Felt awful as I was throwing things because I couldn't get my scanner to work, my printer to work. And it was just a big mess yesterday. So I'm not the only one. There's quite a few that procrastinate. In fact, there's 3% that file an extension every year, don't even do their taxes on time. But I do want to talk about something that bothers me about taxes, and I want to know how you feel. 833-804-1140 on the James River Air text line. According to a new Fox poll, 70% of voters think that the taxes they pay are too high. That's up 11% from last year. And 75% say the government spending is too wasteful. That's up 18% in just a year. So what does that mean? To me, it means that I don't think the American people really feel like they're getting a good return on their investment. It's all about ROI. You hear that all the time. What kind of return on my investment am I going to get over here? If I'm going to spend this money, what do I get back for it? I have a question for you. If that many of us feel like we don't get a good, proper return on our investment, then why was Doge such a big deal? Why did people fight Doge so much? Why did people hate the idea of Doge as much as they did? You saw protests, you saw No Kings protests, you saw lots of people complaining about Doge, that they were going in there and they were fighting this waste and fraud and this and spending money on all of this. Yet you saw half of the government stand up and go, no to Elon Musk, no to the Doge bros. Yet I got a poll right here that says 70% of us thinks the taxes are too high and 75% say that government spending is too wasteful. So which is it? Which one is it really? Is it that we just don't like paying taxes? Okay, maybe. I don't like paying taxes. I don't like the fact that I work 3.5 months a year and 100% of my income. If you pay 30% in taxes, that means roughly one third of your income goes straight to the federal government. I looked to see how much I made last year, looked to see how much I paid, and I'm like, look how much money I gave the government. If you think about this, and I bring this up all the time when I talk about taxes. If you work 12 months a year, you realize 100% of your income in January, 100% of your income in February, January, February, March, and almost to April goes to the federal government. You work the first 3 months of the year and all of that money goes to the government and you live off everything else for the rest of the time. That's a lot of money. Do you think about that in January? You got up and everything you did that day was taken by the federal government. Everything you made in January, everything you made in February, everything you made in March is taken by the federal government if you pay 30% in taxes. Okay? Do you get a proper return on your investment? And that's where I think the disconnect is for people. Now, I used to laugh. My brother was, I'm going to be a libertarian. Why? Because I don't believe in taxes. Well, okay. Yeah, I don't want to pay taxes, but I also want to have an army to protect us. I also want to have a border patrol to close off the border. I also want to have police and fire. So yeah, I do have to pay taxes. So there are things that I want my tax dollars to go to. So yes, I will pay my taxes. My son Rigney, when he was younger, somebody told him, the taxation is theft. And he goes, yeah, I don't want to pay taxes. I go, hey, dope. You want to serve in the military? Where do you think all that money comes from? My taxes. Shut up. Oh, okay. And he knows if he wants to get under my skin, he'll say that to me, and then I'll turn around and tell him what a dope he is. But in all honesty, we should pay taxes. I should be proud to pay my taxes. I should feel good about paying my taxes, but a lot of times I don't. So why is that? Just as a show of hands, and those of you on our James River Air text line, 833-804-1140, do you feel like the federal government respects the American taxpayers and respects our hard work and doesn't take us for granted, and that money that we give them, they treat it like it's their own because it's our own? Do they respect our money? Do they respect our hard work? We send our tax dollars to Washington, D.C. Do they use it properly? Or is it just woohoo, free money? It's kind of like if you win the lottery versus whether you built a company from scratch. Win the lottery, woo, I'm going to go buy a car, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to do that. You build it by scratch, it's something that you're proud of. Are you proud to win the lottery, or do you like to win the lottery? I enjoy winning the lottery. If I won the lottery, I'd be very excited. Would I be proud of it? No, I just got lucky. Do the people in Congress treat our money like, hey, listen, this is hard-earned money, and we respect it, or like, woohoo, there's a big tree out there, and all these people send us money, and we can spend it on whatever we want? I don't know a lot of us that feel like we get our money's worth, or that Congress respects our money, or that our money is treated sacred, because it really is. It's your hard-earned labor. Do they treat it sacredly, or do they just look for, let's find more ways to tax Rich Herrera and the people of America to come up with more tax dollars? And you know how I can tell this is really true? Think about how people talk about tax cuts. Oh, you want to give a tax cut and give money back to the people? No. I give you money. It's not the other way around. If I get a tax cut, you're not giving me anything. You're not giving me a thing, because you don't create anything in government. If there's a tax cut, and you hear this all the time, oh, they just want to give tax cuts. They want to give money to their friends. No. Government's not giving me anything. You're taking my tax dollars. What you're doing is not giving me a tax cut. What you're doing is seizing less of my personal wealth and hard work. You're taking less from me. You're not giving me anything. And that's how we get into these situations where the people in D.C. act like it's their money to spend. It's not your money. Hakeem Jeffries, you didn't earn this money by getting up like I do at 3 a.m. every day and come to work and try to do the best job I can. Again, I think people would feel different about taxes if they felt like their hard-earned money and their hard work was respected and not wasted. And I got the proof right here with this poll. 75% say that government spending is too wasteful. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And if you agree, then why wasn't everybody 100% behind Doge? Find some of these dumb things that we spend money on that are wasteful. Find some of the money that we spend. I mean, every year, it's funny. Every year, some congressman puts out the pork book of all the dumb things that they spend our money on. Yet, every year they have to put that out because no one ever stops it. Why? 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140 is the number for you to chime in on the James River text line. You guys are already bringing it up right now. Seriously. If they put out a book every year with all the dopey things that Congress spends our money on, why didn't it stop after the first year when they said, we're going to do a study on whether salamanders are happy? And you see it all the time. We're going to do this. We're going to do all these dumb studies, bridges to nowhere. I mean, Gavin Newsom's bullet train that they've spent over $100 billion on, and not 1 foot of track has been laid yet. And it's like I think it's $100 billion over budget, and it's 20 years behind. Yet every year they come out with that book of pork that people waste money from on both sides of the aisle. It's not just one. It's not Democrats. It's Republicans as well. 833-804-1140, the James River Air text line for you to tell us. I'd love to get your thoughts on this tax day. I'd love to get your thoughts on this tax day. Tell us what you think.